Okay, so we're going to get started for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you know anyone else who has expressed any interest in the environmental and earth law programs here at Berry, definitely encourage them to hop on at some point during our info session. This will also be recorded and uploaded on the CEJ website, as it said in the email. So just go to the earthjurist.org website and you'll find the recording if you want to share it with anybody, or if you need some reminding of some of the things that we went over today, because we actually have a very robust program here at Berry Law. And so we want to make sure that you are well acquainted with all of the programming that's available to you. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Margaret Stewart, and I am the director of the Environmental and Earth Law Clinic here at Berry Law, and the faculty advisor at the Center for Earth Jurisprudence. A little later, we'll hear from Mr. Keene, who is currently the director of the Center for Earth Jurisprudence, and he'll let you know some of the opportunities that we have going on there. So we wanted to hold this session to go over some of the benefits of getting a legal education at Berry Law, okay? And that is that you will, in your time here, have the opportunity to gain an in-depth understanding of many different areas of the law, okay? And the main benefit of gaining this deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of these different legal areas is that you're going to look at this not only academically, but also practically. And that's going to put you in a really unique and advanced position when you do transition into the legal profession. So we want to make sure that you are aware of all of the opportunities that you have to take advantage of while you're here at Berry. So once you spend, those hours and hours and hours mastering all of these theoretical concepts in your first few semesters, you get to experience this really life-altering moment when you put those concepts into practice and start applying those skills. And what I really love about the Environmental and Earth Law program here at Berry is that it provides a multitude of opportunities for all kinds of experiences, not just theoretical education. And so ultimately knowing how to apply the skills that you've learned in law school is going to be one of the most important opportunities that are going to be offered for the students here in-house at Berry. And I think people have a fairly narrow understanding of what environmental law is. Environmental law is a subject that touches many areas of the law that until you start applying these concepts practically, you may not notice. If you're interested in criminal law, civil law, contracts, administrative law, constitutional law, etc., all of these areas are ingrained in the practice of environmental law. And I think that once people see the wide variety of opportunities available within this specialization, the interest, grows along with it. So environmental law is a very broad field that covers a range of legal issues related to environmental protection, conservation, etc. And there's a lot of things that you can do with a deeper understanding of environmental law. You could be an environmental lawyer, a government regulator, work in nonprofit advocacy and education, work in environmental policy, consulting, specialize in air quality, water quality, waste management, all of these things. And so we want to make sure that you're well acquainted with the opportunities available to you here at Berry Law in the Environmental and Earth Law program. And so we'll be going over each of them today. Here is the agenda, the different components that we're going to talk about. We're going to look at the requirements for the Environmental and Earth Law certificate. We're going to look at some of the environmental and earth law courses that will be available in the spring of 2024. We'll hear about the Environmental and Earth Law Journal, the Environmental Law Society, the clinic, and the Center for Earth Jurisprudence. Okay, and you'll hear about all the different ways that you can participate in these different components of the program. So I just wanted to start with the program contacts here. So if you are interested in or have questions about the Environmental and Earth Law Certificate or the Environmental and Earth Law courses that are available, Professor Ahmad is going to be a wonderful resource for you there. This is my information next. Again, I'm the director of the Environmental and Earth Law Clinic. So if you have any questions regarding, the requirements, the workload, anything about the clinic, definitely don't hesitate to reach out and I can help guide you through that process. And then Dean Diaz is actually our faculty advisor for the Environmental and Earth Law Journal. So if you have any questions there, she would be a great resource to assist, as well as the journal's editors, which we'll get to in just a second. Okay, so again, this contact information will be available on our website, and we will also be putting in a periodic environmental and earth law newsletter in the docket that will always have all of these contacts in there as well. So if you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. So first we have the Environmental and Earth Law Honor Certificates. And actually, I think I'm going to just skip over this for just a second because I believe Professor Ahmad will be joining us and she'll be the best person to explain this to you. If she isn't able to join us, then we'll come back and I'll go through the requirements here, but I'd love for us to hear from the coordinator herself. So I am just going to jump over to the next portion. We did just want to make sure that you are aware of how the Environmental and Earth Law program can work with your upper level writing requirement. So if you take any of the seminar classes, if you are writing on the journal, if you're doing a directed research with any of the professors, all of these things can count towards your upper level writing requirement. And if you complete your upper level writing requirement on an environmental topic, you'll see, as we'll come back to, that will also count towards your Environmental and Earth Law Certificate. So again, another reason that we want to hold these information sessions is so that you can see how you can sort of put a lot of these different components together and, knock out multiple requirements at one time, because you have very limited time here in law school. And so we want to make sure that you're making the most of it. Next, we have the courses that are going to be available in the spring. So administrative law is going to be one of the potential requirements for either the certificate or the Environmental and Earth Law Clinic. Okay, and again, we'll get to those requirements in a second. But if that is something you are interested in, it will be offered in the spring on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9:30 p.m. We also have a 1-credit course called the Environmental Law, Justice, and Jurisprudence course. This will be held on Wednesdays from 3 to 5, and it is only held for the first 6 weeks of class, okay? And the requirement at the end of it is a short paper going through the things that you've learned in the class. And the way it is structured is we spend 2 weeks looking at environmental law topics, 2 weeks focusing on environmental justice, and 2 weeks focusing on earth jurisprudence. So you get kind of a snapshot of all the different types of environmental law classes that are available. And if it's an area that interests you, then you'll want to keep an eye out for the larger classes. We're also offering animal law and practice on Fridays from 9 to 11. Professor Ahmad is going to be teaching energy law and policy on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 3. And then, of course, we have the clinic as well. The clinic does have a classroom component to it that will take place on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5:30. Okay, so Dean Diaz did ask me to go over the requirements for the journal for her. So there's a couple things that you need to do before you can start looking to get on one of the journals, okay? First is that you have to have completed your legal writing, research and writing, both 1 and 2. And you also have to be in the top 11 to 20% of the class, okay? Now, if you're not within that percentile, you can still join via the summer write-on competition. So this is a competition that's held every summer, and Barry will send out an email notifying you of the details. So in the spring semester, keep an eye out for the details of the write-on competition. It essentially encompasses, you getting a legal problem and then having to prepare a brief of some kind, and to send that into the editors. There'll also be some testing on blue booking and citations and things like that. Okay, so if you have any questions about the journal itself, definitely be sure to be following the docket for any updated information. And if you're particularly interested, definitely reach out to the editorial team to get some guidance on what the next best steps would be. Okay, so I believe right now Rebecca McReynolds is the editor-in-chief of the journal. So you'll definitely want to touch base with them. Again, all of that contact information is in the docket. And just to get a little bit of guidance on, how you should organize those first few semesters in order to increase your chances of getting on the journal. Okay. Okay, now I want to hand it over to Zachary Schneider. He is the president of the Environmental Law Society, and he's going to share with us some of the opportunities that you have working with the student organization.
Yes, thank you, Professor. So yeah, my name is Zachary Schneider. I'm the president of the Environmental Law Society here at Barry Law School. We really focus primarily on raising awareness to a lot of the environmental issues. So we are committed to hosting events that get the student body some PEP credits. I think we are going to host a couple movie nights this semester before the end of the semester, and next semester we're going to have some more events that are to be determined. We have a really we actually have quite a few members. We could always use more, but we like to spread awareness to the also to the wonderful environmental courses that we offer here at Barry. I'm involved in the clinic, and I've taken quite a few classes with Professor Stewart and Professor Ahmad, and that animal law class looks very interesting. Also, so I'm looking forward to taking that next semester as well. But yeah, we are committed to really just raising awareness really at this stage. There's a citizens petition that's going around for the Right to Clean and Healthy Water Act that we've been involved with. And Professor Stewart mentioned how environmental law is really intertwined with lots of different areas of the law, and it couldn't be more true. This is how it connects with constitutional law, this citizens petition. But, like she mentioned before, torts and contract law is something that I'm really interested in with environmental law specifically. So if anybody wants to talk more about environmental law and contract law, they could reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to discuss some things with people. And especially if anyone's interested in joining, we could always use more members as well. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much, Zach. And is it accurate to say that your information would be in the docket as well as the president of the Environmental Law Society?
Yes, it should be.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so moving on to the Environmental and Earth Law Clinic. This is a 6-credit hour 1-semester course that's focused on developing the skills that are used in the practice of environmental law. So students participating in the clinic will develop an understanding about the administrative law process, which includes, the interrelationship between statutes, regulations, permits, etc., by working with clients to educate them about the environmental and land use issues of concern and to assess what their legal options are. So this work is going to include what lawyers do when a client first approaches a lawyer about a legal matter, how to communicate with the clients, and what procedures are involved in the practice of law, as well as the legal research and educational outreach to different organizations and communities on environmental matters. So a few things to know is that students must have completed 3 semesters or 36 credit hours in order to participate in the clinic. And the prerequisites are going to be professional responsibility and environmental or administrative law. Now, professional responsibility needs to be completed before you apply for the clinic. The environmental or administrative law can be taken concurrently in the same semester. You do not need to be a certified legal intern or have CLI clearance, which will make more sense to you in the coming semesters if you're just starting your law school journey. But this is a possible requirement for some other experiential learning opportunities in this that we offer. So it's something to be aware of if you are interested in participating in externships, internships, clinics, things like that. But it's not something that the Environmental and Earth Law Clinic requires. So you'll want to focus on your first 3 semesters, mastering those doctrinal courses as much as possible, and then start narrowing down your interests a bit, okay? And so if you're ready to apply for the clinic, be sure to get your application in as soon as possible because the deadline is the end of this week. If you have any questions about the requirements, the prerequisites, time commitments, all of that sorts of stuff, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And we're always available to chat or to get you any additional resources. Okay, and now I want to invite Mr. Keene to share with us what the Center for Earth Jurisprudence does here on campus and what opportunities are available to you to work with the center.
Thank you, Professor Stewart. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jonathan Keene. I am a Berry grad, class of 2015, and I am now the director for the Center for Earth Jurisprudence. So the center is a nonprofit, environmental and earth law focused organization that looks to develop and promote and actually help implement earth law policy that focuses on the rights of nature. Now, this is a burgeoning area of the law in which we are trying to move from what we call an anthropocentric view of law, in which when we develop law, we tend to focus only on how it affects people. We at the center want to have an ecocentric view, begin to grow within our legislative bodies, where we focus on all living things as being an important part of this thriving ecosystem really every ecosystem on the planet. So a lot of our work starts here at home in Central Florida, but we expand beyond. We've actually had an amicus brief read on the floor of the Supreme Court in a national case. And of course, we participate with the Global Alliance for the Rights of Nature, which of course is a worldwide organization trying to also promote these views that we need to have a more ecocentric approach to the way we develop law. So at the center, what we do is we have a number of different events throughout the year. We try to bring in as many speakers as we can. They'll talk about a wide variety of topics, whether that is rights of nature, legislation, or even when we're bringing up different careers that one can have when you have an environmental and an earth law background coming out of law school. We also put on an ecological immersion academy. We try to do that twice a year. Great opportunity for us to get out there in the world to learn and see exactly how these laws can benefit the living systems around us. It's a real hands-on opportunity because you're actually out there in nature, seeing where the help needs to be established the most, whether it's a polluted waterway or endangered species assistance. And then, of course, it's also having the opportunity to talk with folks who are working in these areas. And that's another potential career path for folks with that environmental and earth law background. The best thing about these events, other than the fact that we're helping these different organizations, different individuals, and of course, our planet itself, is we're offering students professionalism hours, pro bono hours, when we're out there putting on projects, working in the communities around us, trying to help underserved communities. These are opportunities for the students to come in and volunteer. Now, obviously, you need to get your hours to graduate, so it's a boon for them. But just, I can tell you from real world experience, that feeling of making a difference in your community really lasts and goes far beyond your education itself. So just a lot of great opportunities for the students to stay involved in our earth law system here. And of course, we teach the earth law courses. We're offering guidance to our students when they're researching environmental and earth law topics. And then on top of that, we also have a great opportunity for students who have completed their legal research and writing courses, as we have a paid earth law policy fellowship. And so this is a great, time to hone your research skills. At the same time, it's a chance to earn some additional money on top of it because it is a paid position, and you'll be working alongside myself and alongside Professor Stewart as we're helping again to develop that policy that's going to advance the rights of nature. So we've been here for the last 17 years, starting with Sister Pat back in 2006. I continue that legacy the best that I can. And like I mentioned at the start, as a Berry grad, I've been here. We're here in the ALC on the first floor. If you ever have any questions about anything as it relates to law school, to environmental law, or just to living in Orlando, please don't hesitate to come out and use me as a resource. More than happy to help you out. I know how hard law school can be at times, and we want to make that as easy as possible for you as you're getting ready to jump out there and have an amazing career, and hopefully in environmental and earth law as one of our allies.
Thank you so much, Mr. King. Okay, before we get into questions, I just want to jump back and make sure that we've covered the requirements for the environmental and earth law certificate. So we have a couple different honor certificates that you can earn here at Berry. And essentially the purpose here is to concentrate in a specific area of the law, okay? So the environmental and earth law certificate will give you the opportunity to use the electives that you have to focus on the study of environmental and earth law. So there's a couple of core requirements here. So first is going to be to take the 3 required core courses. So that's going to be the 1 credit Introduction to Environmental Law, Justice, and Jurisprudence class that we talked about earlier. Environmental law or an approved substitution. We understand that not every course is available every semester, and so sometimes, if your schedule does not permit for you to take the environmental law or the administrative law, that some other environmental law courses could substitute for this. So that's a discussion that you'll want to have with Professor Ahmad. And then at least 2 credits in the skills and experiential component. So if you pull up the application for the Environmental and Earth Law Honor Certificate, you will see the list of courses that count towards skills and experiential component. These are going to be your mediation, trial advocacy, if you're taking part in moot court or trial team, taking part in the clinic, those sorts of things. In addition, you need to have 10 credit hours of the core and elective courses. Okay, so after you've done the core courses, you need however many courses are left for you to hit the 10 credit hours of environmental and earth law courses. So the ones that we went through earlier that are available next semester, all of these will count towards the environmental and earth law certificates. And again, if you look at the application, it has a list of additional courses, things like Florida constitutional law, and again, some of the more experiential learning courses. In addition, you have to complete the writing component. So that's going to be either a seminar paper satisfying the requirements of one of the approved electives. So if you're taking the energy law and policy course, your seminar paper there will count towards your honor certificate requirement. If you have an article accepted into the Environmental and Earth Law Journal, that will count. If you do a directed research on an environmental topic, or if your upper level writing required paper is on an environmental topic as well. So again, you'll see there's a lot of ways that you can combine a lot of these requirements, right? So you have to do your upper level writing requirements, you have to take a certain amount of electives, you have to do some experiential courses. If you plan accordingly, you can do that in a way that they'll all count towards your environmental and earth law honor certificate. And again, that's where Professor Ahmad can be really helpful in assisting you, and really any of us in the environmental and earth law program can help guide you through that as well. Okay, so I want to go back to the end now and see if there are any questions that anyone has. You can raise the little hand or just jump right in because we are a relatively small group. Any questions about any of the components of the environmental and earth law program here?
I just had a question about the fellowship. Are there any requirements for that position?
So yeah, you have to complete your legal research and writing 1 and 2. And once you have completed both those courses, that is just applying for the position.
Okay, thank you.
So, and the flyer for that position was included in the original email that went out with the link to this meeting. So you'll find some more information there. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Professor, I have a question. Will you be teaching the animal and earth law class on Friday?
I won't. No, that'll be Professor Day.
Oh, Dean Day?
Not Dean Day, another day.
Oh, Professor. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is then. What classes will you be teaching next semester? Just the survey?
Yep, just the survey next semester.
Have we ever offered the international environmental law class?
What's that?
Have we ever offered the international environmental law and policy?
So the only time in recent years that I'm aware that we offered that was in the Summer in Spain program. Part of that program. Because
I've taught it before.
Yeah.
I've been teaching it before, so if at any time you want me to do that, let me know if my schedule can fit it in. Maybe for
yeah, I'm sure the students would be super interested in that. Yeah, we're actually going to be discussing even more opportunities with Dean Curtis going forward. So hopefully we'll be able to offer a bigger variety of courses.
Yeah. Wonderful, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, this recording will be available for anyone who is interested in these programs. If you know specifically what you're interested in, again, don't hesitate to reach out to the contacts for that program. And we will get you the information that you need. We want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the opportunities that are available to you here at Berry Law. And our environmental and earth law program is a particularly unique program in the field of legal education. And so we want to make sure that you are aware of everything that is at your disposal here. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.